had been a peaceful day on the island. The trains were running as usual, and everything was right on time. At the diesel works, George the steamroller was summoned to flatten some uneven parts of the parking lot where the workmen's vehicles resided. George was complaining.
Puh! This is ridiculous! I should be doing something better than this!
It was at that moment Diesel arrived with a train of tankers. He eyed the steamroller with interest.
Say, George, do you realize something? We share a common goal, you and I.
What's that?
You love to see yourself tearing up the railway into a road course, while I see this excuse of an island being revolutionary.
What are you getting at, Diesel?
What I'm saying, George, is that you and I can be a great team together. Tell you what, let's bash any steam engine that we see and cause some trouble for old Fat Hat. Yeah.
Sounds promising. But wasn't it for me, Diesel? The last time I was in this situation,
Diesel 10 was being self-centered about you having a ruler ring to yourself. Besides, you had a chance to join them, but you just turned and rolled away. So what do you say? Are you in this with me, George?
George reluctantly agreed. So later this afternoon in Tigmouth, he saw Thomas about to make his way out to his branch line when Diesel bumped him off the tracks. What was that for? George was rolling along the side of the tracks just inside Napa when derailed Henry. Hey, why don't you repoint that roller of yours, you clumsy thing? George was now at the level crossing gates, where the new engine, YellowDash, saw that he was blocking his way.
Get out of my way.
sorry, but you're gonna have to wait.
YellowDash was annoyed.
Let me, though.
George finally started, but he was rolling ever so slowly. This made YellowDash cross.
Come on.
Don't let me come out there and give you something to think about. Diesel transported George to the Scarlery Railway, where he rolled off the flatbed and made his way to the level crossing. Sir Handel was popping past with a goods train at that moment. George made his way and caught up with the SKR's number 3. Playing some games again, are we, George?
I have no time for games with you and your steamroller wheels.
George swerved into Sir Handel, causing him to derail. This angered the narrow gauge engine. What was that for?
Now we're even.
This angered Sir Handel so much that by the time the police arrived, George was gone, but Sir Handel's crew told the constable everything. Thank you, Richie. We will investigate this at once. Diesel, meanwhile, was biffing, bashing, and buffing steam engines all over the island. However, this did attract some of the Diesels, one of them being Paxton. He was angry with Diesel.
That is amazing. What a life.
Meanwhile, Sir Tomcat was boarding a passenger train headed to Bickerstown. Duck, who was pulling the train, waited excitedly as the guard blew his whistle. Duck made his way with the train, not knowing that George was approaching the level crossing just outside Wellsworth. Duck got out of the way in time, but it was all too late. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Isabel and Dulcie were derailed. Duck was furious. George, this is not the Great Western Way. Now is not the time. Duck, Sir Topham may be injured.
Aha! Just as I planned. Now Fat Hat is now in for it now.
I would retract that statement if I were you, George.
Sir, it's not what you think. You see,
I don't want to hear it, George. Yes, you have your ambitions of turning my railway into roads. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Even he stall me when he's rolling slowly. I suggest you give George a punishment, sir.
I can't believe you read my mind, YellowDash. Now, as punishment, you will be working at the China Clay Works as a generator for 3 months until I can trust you again.
but sir, this wasn't my idea. It was Diesel's. He planned the whole mess out in the first place.
I had a feeling someone else was behind all this. Now I know who will be in more trouble between the two of you. I will deal with Diesel later. Now let's clear this whole mess up. When the mess was all clear, and things were put back to normal, things ran as usual, and that evening the engines greeted YellowDash warmly. Though he had a rough encounter with George, he did not let that get to him. He was more focused on meeting his new friends on Sodor. George, meanwhile, was sent to the China Clay Works, where he was their generator for 2 weeks rather than the 3 months that Sir Topmat had initially punished George for. He did not mind that. He enjoyed the company. Well, George, I hope this would teach you not to listen to devious Diesel. Say, Ben, what will we do when George leaves? There's that other roller. He is much nicer, unlike this lot, which should be taken into the harbor and dumped in the sea. Very funny, you two. Now off you go before you two get dumped into the sea. Both twins remained silent after that, and both popped away to the docks, with their load of China clay. As for Diesel, well, he was found out by Sir Topmat, and as punishment, had to pull the waste train for 4 months. See, Diesel, this type of change does make you rethink your actions from these devious plot of yours. Diesel said nothing. He knew he had a lot to think about. Back at Nafford Station, Sir Topmat was eating toast and coffee when the telephones rang. Hello? Speaking? Yes. Wait, a shipment of honey needs to be delivered right away? I will send, but that is a story for another day.